All right, I have started the recording, and let me mark it's here. So, okay, let me look at the calendar real quick. Somebody came up and just talked to me just a few minutes before the class, and I was paying attention, and I just noticed what time it is. All right. You're on chapter 3 this week. Today is when chapter 2 is due because I extended the deadline a day. The school policy and also my personal thought on it too is that we're not supposed to have things due on days that the school is not in session, so that students can contact instructors on that day. That's what I've been told is policy, although I know there's a number of instructors that do have stuff to do on Sundays, but I'm not sure on any of that. So that's the reason I normally use Mondays, but this week it's Tuesday since yesterday was a holiday. And then chapter 3 will be due next Monday. You will have 2 more times that stuff will be due on Tuesday this semester. July the 4th falls on Sunday. The holiday is on Monday. So that week, stuff will be due on Tuesday also, on July the 6th. The following week, the last day of the semester is July the 13th, which is a Tuesday. So I've set the stuff due that Tuesday instead of due that Monday that week, except for discussions will be due on Monday. Final exam will be available from that Saturday the 10th through Wednesday the 14th. Now, so for this class, the chapter 4 will be due chapter 3 will be due next Monday. Chapter 3 is going further into DNS on setting it up and setting some more stuff on it. I do have notes out there in the assignments on some things on chapter 3, on at least on one of the activities, because activity 2, I see that there was notes I did. That I think the rest of the chapter, I don't think I got through the rest of the chapter yet, actually. But I did get through that one last semester when I was doing the work. And did find some little things on that one. So just be aware on that as you're working on chapter 3. Be sure you look at what I have out there in notes. So let me look at that real quick to make sure it is there, because it should be, because I would have put it out there last semester. But let me make sure it still is there. And then I will try to work some more on later in the chapter as we go on by. There is no note there. And I need to add a note on it. Okay. So there should be a note on chapter 3, but there's not. And I will add one there about activity 3-2. I guess I didn't get it put out there. Let me go back in chapter 2 and see stuff was put in there, because I'm just a little puzzled now by it. Yeah, because I did get my notes out there in chapter 2. So obviously that was as far as I got, was 3-2 in chapter 3. I've not had a chance to go through the others. I'm right at the moment, I'm trying to get through the first ones in 2412. All right, I just heard something. Because the issue was if you had a problem on step 9, one of the things was to turn off the firewall and also remove DM1 from the domain and then add it back to the domain. Apparently solved some problems right there. And wait a minute. Yeah, it's on that activity. Okay, so that's all the way down on step 11 is when you used NS lookup. And that may be the same thing I got there about removing DM1 from the domain and then adding it back. So you might want to try that. I also got a note there to change to bridge, and apparently I had to change to bridged from internal on the network connections to get it to work correctly. So I definitely go in and try removing DM1 from the domain, i.e. put it in a work group and then turn off the machine, turn it back on, and then turn around and add it back to the domain and then see if that takes care of it, because that's dealing with DM1 down there. And the other one is make sure you do have DC1 running in the midst of while you're continuing to do the stuff on down there. Because you are doing the NS lookup at DC1, but you will need DC1 and DM1 both running. I don't see where they told you that. Yeah, okay. Because when you got step 3, you had to get on DM1. But so from 3 on, you should have had DC1 and DM1 running. So be aware of those and continue working on 3. But that may be the issue of what I ran into right there, because I said if problem step 9 change to bridged, which is changing internal to bridge on the network adapters there in VirtualBox Administrator, and you would need to do that on both DC1 and DM1. And then I've got the note there to turn off the firewall and to also remove DM1 from the domain and then add it back. So that would be what I had run into there. And then apparently I didn't get a chance to get back and get any further in it as we went along in the semester last semester. 2412, I'm trying to get some stuff going on it. So that's where we're standing at. I have graded what was turned in last week, unless stuff was turned in late, and I have not had a chance to go back and grade late submittals necessarily in classes. And I will try to get that done in the next day or so. First thing tomorrow will be grading the discussion, and that's just a school priority on it, that I've got to get that done as early as I can each week for them, because they grade me on that. And then I'll be working on grading the assignments. So that'll be on that. And I'll be grading both things that were behind and things that were due, like chapter 3 that were due, or chapter 2, I guess it is, that is due tonight. I pulled the calendar off, so I don't know. Must be. Where is the calendar? There it is. So that chapter 2 is due tonight. So hopefully I can get 2 graded pretty quickly there too. And then anything that was late turned in from the other, I'll try to touch on. So I'm trying to stay caught up on the grading, but lots of things popping up. And with new books and 2 of the classes, that's keeping exciting on it. 2413 seemed to have gone pretty smoothly after we got through the first chapter or so, 2 chapters last semester. And that was as far as I got, and apparently I didn't feel a vital need to get on further. That I got that far, and that people didn't seem to have a real problems after that. It was getting the initial stuff going on it was the problem. 2412 has been a different animal out there. It's using the same machines as this class does, set up similar as far as the class, and some of them have had some real problems, which I haven't seen necessarily in 2414 or this class. So I'm trying to get their stuff, some more things on, and that I've gotten a number of notes for them that I need to put out there. Well, I really don't have too many notes, but I need to get going some further on theirs. Actually, I haven't gotten into the book material really. That's why I don't have very many notes. But I did, another thing that took a good bit of time last semester and right up to the first week of this semester was getting all those direction sheets for y'all developed out there, setting up your machines. But the setting up machines is the main thing that I've seem to have had issues with so far, and then the fact that some of what they wanted you to do, not all machines support, like doing virtual machines inside virtual machines, and AMD processors, that works okay. Intel processors, there's a special command you have to run to be able to allow to do that. So I'm going to work on that to figure some more things on that one. But I didn't have too many issues from students very much on through the book on it, that they didn't, because where I was doing the 2413 last semester, that we didn't seem to really have. But again, I have not gone through and done all of this stuff. It's just been rather busy on things. So I'd like to get through and do all the activities in all 3 books, but not had a full chance. So, but so that's where we'll go from there on. All right, any questions for me today on this stuff? So my other 2 sessions this morning, my first one ran the full hour. I had to cut it off at 5 minutes till because I had another session at the next hour at 11. The 10 o'clock one ran the full time, and we covered a lot of stuff there, and that was actually in the 2412, where I was talking to them about how, and about the fact that we're not doing Hyper-V, because there's some issues on that. Things one is getting a hold of the right copy on it, and I have not worked with Hyper-V before, and I've got to get a copy of it that I'm going to, and then try it and see what all happens on it. It may be something good to work with, I don't know. But having them do the stuff all in VirtualBox and telling them, let's just do that. So I want to work some more on that. But the other issue is I've got that stuff set up on my home machine, on my laptop at home, which is what I'm using primarily at the current time. and that stops me from working on it here at school. And then the other thing is the school is now saying, starting this semester, that working at home does not count as work, that I have to work 40 hours on campus here. And that's complicating things even a little further, because I was counting some of that as part of my work day previous, because we're allowed to telework, but we're not allowed to telework now. So that's even more. And I spent 7 hours on Saturday setting up DC1, same DC1 that you're using in this class. At the same time, well, I wasn't doing directions because I already had directions, but I was following my directions, and that it just took a while. SA1 was real quick yesterday on setting it up. DC1 was on Sunday, actually. And I'm not sure what the big difference was. The biggest thing I know is DC1 is a domain controller with the ADDS, where SA1 had nothing to do with a domain or any of that. It's a standalone machine. And that's probably what made it so much quicker. But DC1 did take a long time to get it all up and running. Now I can do their chapter 1 since I've got SA1, but by the time I got that done yesterday, I didn't have time to fool with it anymore. So I'd like to do that, and then I'll have to get those other machines set up also for that class. The DM1, DM2, and the server Hyper-V, and check all of that out. So we'll see what all happens. So next week we'll have this session again on Monday at the same time. The next 2 weeks, and then after that I'm not sure what's going to happen on some of this. We'll just see. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to work on some, how I'm going to be able to do on some sessions, because I got something else going on with me too that's going to have me busy also. But I am going to still be on email. I am answering questions. I've had a ton of questions that I've been answered all weekend, and have been answering today so far. As I did not answer any emails yesterday. That we'll just see as we go. All right, any questions for me today? Okay, because we'll be back on with 2414 at 2 o'clock. So I'm sitting here actually between the classes today. My primary thing has been sitting here answering emails. And I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 more emails that have come in since for me to answer from students that have come in since 20 till 1. So have come in the last 40 minutes. So I'll keep on going on those. All right, any other questions? If not, I'm going to let you go at this point, and then I'll see you again at that point. I have not put the grades for Collaborate out there yet for last week. I do not believe. I was carrying it in my pocket every day to do, and just not had a chance, so it's laying on the front seat right now. But if I did lose that piece of paper, that's not a big problem. I can go back in and look and Collaborate, and it'll tell me who all was there. And I will try to get today's done quickly also. So I'd like to, within the next day or so, get myself caught back up on all of that type stuff, and then I can work on doing some more of these activities. Besides that, I've got a couple of classes I'm taking. I'm behind in my AWS one. So I really need to spend some time on that. And I believe I'm taking the DevNet class that I think starts today. And I'll have to go out there and check on that one. that is from Cisco, and I'll have to see what all I got to be doing on it. So this will be interesting. All right, so I will see you at 2. So I'm going to stop the recording.